Are we starting like this? Okay.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you?
Good to see you, Yehuda. Thank you for having me on.
My pleasure. What's doing?
A lot of things are doing. It's actually perfect that you reached out to me now regarding doing this interview because I just released Yefei Nof, a song, a fun summer vibe, and I hope
Yes,
everybody gets to hear it.
I, well, it's a gorgeous song.
Thank you.
So
Thank you, Yehuda.
where did you grow up?
I grew up in Brooklyn. I grew up in Flatbush, went to Varetsky as
Wow.
elementary, moved my way through Mir Yeshiva in high school. Eventually, I made it to Camp Simcha, where I met you.
Okay,
That's
we'll get that to that later.
okay. I'm rushing things.
Yes.
All right.
um. So you grew up in Flatbush, went to Varetsky, and then the Mir. You went to Israel at all, or no?
Yes, sure. Before Israel, I went to Nesivos Torah in Staten Island,
Okay.
and I had 2 good years there. And then I went to Eretz Yisrael. I learned by Reb Nissen Kaplan for 2 years,
Wow.
and then from there, I came back and I went to BMG. I learned in Lakewood for 2 years.
Wow. Okay. So post Israel, you went to Lakewood, and after Lakewood, what did you do?
So after Lakewood, I got married.
Okay.
I moved to Far Rockaway,
Oh wow.
and I was married. At first, I was learning in Kollel by Rabbi Forst in Far Rockaway,
Okay.
and I was also learning in Shar Yashav. I participated in a program called Taltachia, where I was learning with these awesome guys there in the morning,
Okay.
and then Kollel in the afternoon. And then, while I was, uh, then I started working for a video game company.
Oh wow.
Sell on Amazon and eBay, and
Okay.
we used to sell to GameStop. It was like it was a public company.
Okay.
And while I was working there, I actually went to school at night for accounting. I was doing an accounting
Okay.
program, and um, eventually I became a CPA. Even though I've never practiced accounting, but I took my CPA exams,
Wow.
and yeah, I did that.
What
From
did
there,
you What did you
yeah.
get on your CPA exam? Do you
So
remember?
CPA exams are 4 parts,
Okay.
and they're super hard tests, and you have to pass all four within 18 months.
Right.
So I just remember I was actually taking my CPA exams right after I had gotten divorced. I was married for like 3 years,
Okay.
and I got divorced. And at that time, it was actually a bracha like that. I could like put my mind into something like
Wow.
this. It was like I was working in the day, came home at night, and studied for like a full year. That's all I was doing.
Wow.
I did well on my tests. I think high 80s, low 90s on most, on pretty much all the four tests.
Okay.
I actually liked it. It's funny. When I tell people I'm an accountant, they're like, "What? Like, what are you talking about?" But I enjoyed the schooling of it. It felt good to know that like I could do well in school because like
Right.
as a kid, I was like a troublemaker. When I
Oh
was in
really? No
elementary,
way.
yeah, I was always kicked out of class. I was always like trying to be funny, making jokes. Rabam left, but they kicked me out. So,
Wow.
like it was nice to see like when I matured a little bit that I could
Right.
focus and zone in on school. Where did you go to school, Yuda?
I went to Yeshiva Brooklyn for elementary, and then to
Nice,
Taivadas for high school.
nice. That's
Yeah.
good. Yeah, I never made it out to those yeshivas. I felt out a little bit, but
Oh,
Varetsky was awesome.
you
I loved,
Varetsky. You liked Varetsky?
I loved it. I love Reb Shlomo Landau. He's the Manal. I was one of the first classes of Varetsky. My older brother was the second class that Varetsky had, and there was one class right before him. So we basically started the yeshiva. Initially, we started learning in the basement of the Alter Rebbe Landa, around the corner
Wow.
from Landau Shul. and we grew along with the yeshiva.
Wow.
I still have great memories of my awesome classmates from back then. Once in a while, I'll bump into them. Feels like a lifetime ago.
It
But
must be a long time ago.
yeah, yeah. I'm an old man.
So you're not an old man, but Baruch Hashem.
Thank God.
So post Israel, you went to Lakewood. When did you get involved with Camp Simcha, and when did you go to Camp Simcha, and how long were you there for?
So I think I was 19 when I went to Camp Simcha originally. I think
Okay.
I was there for 2 summers. I was never a counselor. I didn't think I could handle it. It's such a big obligation, and
I
it's
thought you
like,
were a counselor. You were my co-bunk.
so I was a rotator.
Right.
So
Okay.
that's how, like, all the specialty
Right.
guys also have campers,
Right.
but not as a counselor. I was a
Got it.
lifeguard the first summer, and I was a
Okay.
waiter the second summer.
Okay.
I wanted to like get different vibes and different experiences, and it was like nothing I've ever experienced before. When I went to Camp Simcha,
Right.
like you probably like it's Camp Simcha, like you've been like it's like a part of your life, but for
Yeah.
me it was like, oh my gosh, what is this place? Like
Right.
so much joy, so much fun. People like the first day dancing, and everybody welcomed in, and it feels like a fairy tale when you first
Right.
experience it. But yeah, I had 2 amazing summers there, and then I ended up working for Hilly Newhouse doing swim-a-thon for
Okay.
Chai Lifeline for 2
Oh
summers.
wow.
So, yeah, we used to raise millions of dollars for Chai Lifeline in the summer, running. I would go from bungalow colony to bungalow colony,
Okay.
introducing it to the day camps, and then in the city to day camps in the city, and then I'd go around again to collect the money and give out prizes.
Wow.
Yeah,
Is
it
is
was
the swimathon still going or no?
I don't know. I'm not in bungalow colonies really,
Right.
and yeah, I don't see if it's still going. But
So so how did you get into music, and when did you decide that you're just gonna do guitar and all that stuff?
I've been obsessed with music since I was born. As
Okay.
a little kid, I was singing my little head off, and I if I've ever seen like a music store, I wanted to go in. If I ever saw an instrument, I wanted to try it and play it. As a little kid, I found my guitar in my grandmother's basement in Queens.
Okay.
She let me have it, and I would read. I took out books from the library, and there was no YouTube then. That's how old I am.
Right.
So, so I had to read, and I would like pick up clues. I would get my classmates, some like guys who were musical, to get together, and we had
Okay.
jams. I used to play for like yeshiva events.
Wow.
I was always obsessed with it, and when I went to Eretz Yisrael, I was constantly going with my guitar, like wherever I went. I
Right.
would get on the bus with my friend Avidan Moskowitz and David Orlansky, and we'd go to the Kalbach shop. Mashav would go to kibbutzim. We'd go to Eilat, Tzfat, even stay in Yerushalayim sometimes.
Right.
Um, but yeah, I've always been obsessed. It didn't become a profession till after after I got married.
Okay.
When I was married, um, I started doing little jobs here and there,
Right.
like by word of mouth. I was giving guitar lessons to kids in the neighborhood, and that's when I met Benny Kahan, who started hiring me for some gigs. He was doing this already for a while with some other
Okay.
guys, and it didn't really take off until I left my job and I
Right.
created an Instagram account, and then it sort of became like a regular career, like a day to day kind of
Right.
thing.
In your family, was your family a musical family when you growing up?
Yeah, we're
Or
Levian. We're Levian. We all love to
okay.
sing. Our Shabbos table was always everybody harmonizing and singing Zmiris. Um, Nobody else in my family went in my immediate family went in this
Right.
direction, but my father's side, I'm cousins with Pampatisa and
Right.
Bezalel, and they're very musical, and our whole extended family is loves to sing and is musical, but some of us went into the profession of it.
Right.
I'm getting comments about. I posted just earlier. My
Yeah.
friend AJ Ginsberg and Mo Stein rescued a little
Okay.
deer. Like they're
Wow.
muncie, and there was a little. There was a deer that got stuck in a sewer grate, and
Wow.
he was able to pull it out. Very adorable.
Wow.
Stop. I got distracted by the messages.
That
But yeah,
wow.
yeah, we are Levium. So God willing, when Mashiach comes to let us
S-
entertain in the Beit Hamikdash.
Right. Mitzvah Hashem. Um. So I know you were married, and like you said, you got divorced, unfortunately, but you have a kid also. Um. She. I mean, from what I see, she's adorable, but I don't think she lets you post her anymore.
No,
So
no, she's already a bat mitzvah girl as of a year ago. She just turned 13. We're
wow.
not making a bar mitzvah, but we are planning a fun birthday party with her.
Wow.
She is Blian Hara, like almost an adult. It's a little scary to me.
It.
Uh,
I'm sure
it's
it is.
it's a big like a big change just from like 1 year ago. Like
Wow.
it's really like she knows what she's doing. She's smarter than all of us, and
I don't believe that, but okay.
that's that's what that age believes. So you know, but she's really an amazing fun girl. She's musically talented. She actually composed a song recently, and I'd like to try to put it out and
Oh
sing it.
wow.
Yeah, B'Shem Hashem. Hold me to
Okay.
it, Yehuda. Make sure that I go ahead and decide.
I
I have
will
so
hold
many
you to it.
things that like I'm putting my hands in, and like it's been so long. Like I'm trying to complete a lot of projects, and that's why I was so happy to release Yefei Nof. It's a song that I wrote many years ago, and I finally put it onto a track, and I
Wow.
actually made a cool music video using AI, artificial intelligence,
Wow.
to like just get the vibe of the beauty of Eretz Yisrael, dancing in the Beis Hamikdash. The idea of the song is that I can't wait to dance in the Beis Hamikdash to sing with my brothers. And as a lady, that's really that's where we're going.
Right. Wow. Okay, so you keep on bringing up your brothers and from your family. Um, unfortunately, you had a couple of brothers that
Yes, I
unfortunately
love
passed away.
two brothers.
So, how was that? How did that affect your music, and if it did at all? And did you take anything out of it, like to become better?
For sure, yes. I lost two brothers. My brother Ari passed away first, and then Yisrael passed away
Right.
uh, in a car accident together with his Kala, and I actually released my Afikoman song telling that story about my brother Yisrael. And I have written songs for both of them. And for sure, like life throws a lot of stuff at you and it develops you, hopefully. You know, Yehuda, I'm sure there's been so many challenges in your life, and the way you approach life, I'm always
Right.
impressed. You're not intimidated
Thank
by
you.
life. You're always cheerful, positive. Whenever I see you, like you light up the room
Oh,
and
thanks.
you take life by the horns. I love it.
Thank
I,
you.
I'm still going crazy about that. It's like probably almost a year ago that you arranged that thing in that restaurant in
Oh,
Lakewood. You pulled me up. I was like, wow, Yehuda's like taking control. Making it happen. We got my my guys together and we sang for your group that you had arranged there.
yeah.
And good for you, Yehuda. You should continue to like feel good about life and feel the drive to make things happen. I love that you're doing this thing. This is incredible. I watched some other interviews that you did, and you know what you're doing. I love it. But yeah,
Uh,
as far as my brothers, I think that it I'm a certain type that like I compartmentalize a lot. So I don't let it get to me on a regular basis. Sometimes
right.
I'll open up to it, but it
Okay.
definitely made me look at life very differently. We we don't know what's coming, and
Right.
especially over these past few years, like every day it seems like there's another crazy thing. I mean, it slowed down a little bit, but now the entire New York is covered in orange smoke. And like,
Uh,
who could anticipate? Like, I lived my whole life and none of these stuff were happening, and then since 2020, it's
uh,
just been one after like the next, like
it's
a whole different world.
it's not normal
Yeah, I like to say it's BC and AC, before COVID and after COVID. That's the world, you
for
know?
sure. The Avi Kamen song, was that the most fulfilling song that you've ever done, or if there's other fulfilling songs that you've composed and sung?
Um, yeah, the Afikoman is unique because of the story,
Right.
and it's so common for people to request that at events, and sometimes it's like almost funny for me to sing it. Let's say at a Shabbat breakfast or a happy event, and it's a sad song,
Right.
but I get it, and I get why people are moved and touched by it, and I feel lucky that I was able to bring that song, like to for people to be able to be moved and connected. So many people have lost loved ones, and they tell me that this song makes them cry every time, but in a satisfying way, like that it helps them come. Like the story of the song is about my father's amuna, my
Right.
father's simple strength and ability to take it and say to Hashem, I accept it. I'm asking for uh, a gift in return, and he asked for
Wow.
shidduchim for Klal Yisrael as a gift in return. So it's a really special way to approach such a tragedy, is to be thinking about Klal Yisrael, and so many people who have lost heavy losses are amazed and moved and get some kind of relief and a chama from that concept.
Right.
So I'm so thankful. It literally was a gift because I've had so many songs that I've worked on for a long time and nothing
Right.
happens. I didn't, and this song was, it was a decision 2 weeks before Pesach. I want to do it. I sat down. I was crying my eyes out as I was writing it, but like it was one session of just
Wow.
that I wrote the tune, that I wrote the story. I didn't end up writing the final words myself. I hired Mati Ilowitz to help me
Right.
do it in Yiddish because I wanted it in Yiddish. It felt more moving to me in Yiddish. And I get a lot of comments a lot of times. People telling me, why didn't you do it in English? Like, people would understand it better in English. I added the subtitles in English on the YouTube
Right.
video, but something about Yiddish is more touching to me, and I felt like I wanted it in Yiddish.
Maybe that Varetsky Yiddish
That's
is
exactly it.
is the
I think
reason.
about that sometimes because it's literally the direction that my life went helped me become the person I am today. And you don't see it as it's happening all the time, but
Right.
afterward, looking back, I'm like, wow, like if I didn't know Yiddish, like my whole entire career would have been very different. Such a big portion of the music that I like and that I sing is Yiddish.
Right.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
So, what type of music do you write, and what type of music do you sing? I know it's like something called soulful, but what what is what does soulful mean?
So my Instagram handle is, if it's moving, I'll sing it.
Okay.
I'm attracted to music that moves you, that you could feel, that you recognize almost the emotion in the way I sing it.
Right.
Um, I love I love hartzig music. I also love fun, lively music, and that was my goal with the Yifei No song that I just put out, to try to get a little beat going for the summer.
Right.
But like my natural tendency is towards the softer moving hartzig stuff.
You did a song with Thank You Hashem, didn't you?
I did Reb Nachman's song with Thank You
Right.
Hashem. I remember Arya Bloomstein actually went to Beretsky with me. He was my classmate.
Oh, no way. I
Yeah,
did not know that he was in your class.
yeah, yeah. We go back for many, many years.
Wow.
And he called me. He said, "I got this great song for you, Reb Nachman." I think I had done my Reb Shaila Niggin
Right.
cover, so maybe that's what made him think of me. And I loved it, and I added a bridge. The high part, the high bridge of the song was my addition to the song. We recorded it by Donnie. I love how Donnie records and produces, Donnie Gross.
Yeah.
And it's thank Hashem, just keeps on giving gifts, keeps on
Yeah.
doing amazing stuff.
Did you see their recording studio?
Yeah, yeah, Mendy Portnoy. Have you been there?
I was there once. Yeah.
Nice, nice. We need a Yehuda song.
You come up with a song. I can't sing, so
Okay, okay. Well, nowadays anybody can sing.
that's true. Cause it's all. But
Yeah,
what do you think about the whole music industry, that it's changing?
I embrace it. It's
Yeah.
great. Meaning the world is supposed to change. The world is
Right.
supposed to progress, and it's speeding up now, and it's very
Okay.
noticeable day to day, year to year. It's very obvious. But the goal should be is to move along with it, to try to keep up with that. And you know how, like, sort of the barrier of entry is very low. Like, for anybody to just come out and make songs, that's great, because it brings so many new flavors to music.
Right.
And people are looking for that. They want more new, fun, interesting styles, and I say go for it. Like, everybody, if you have a feeling, if you have a vibe, let the world know about it. Share it.
Right. But what do you think about the whole social media aspect of it?
I like it. I like it. I think social media is a way that any individual can reach a lot of people. It's
Okay.
it's it's in a way it's hard, and in a way it's easy. Meaning, because everybody could do it, it's a little flooded.
Right.
So it's very hard to get attention. But if something is actually really good, it will get attention, and
Right.
it will stand up. I saw Zusha had a crazy viral video
Yeah.
recently, and it's amazing. Like that, like if not for social media, they wouldn't have been able to get that bump now. Like, meaning, could be, but this was the route for them to
Right.
do it.
Your route with Afikoman was social media or no?
For sure, for sure, my social media helped. Like, I shared it, and posted it, but it probably took off, like, more organically, because the just the
The
story is
the
so
right.
so strong and touching that people shared it. But, like, how do you share it? Through social media? So, like,
Right.
it's the venue, like, an avenue of the way things move around.
Right.
What do you think,
Um.
David? What do you think about social media?
First of all, my 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 take on social media, it's good and bad. That's my take. You could see the good and you could see the bad.
Like everything.
Yeah. But I want to delve a little bit more into Avi Clayman's song. First of all, the first night that it came out, I'm gonna be honest, I was crying because I know you. I didn't know Yisrael or his Kala, but I know you. It was very, very, very nice. Nice. Um, but it took you 2 weeks to write it. That's all.
It
Wow.
took it took 2 weeks from when I thought of doing the song till when it was released as a video.
Oh, okay.
So that's even it took less than 2 weeks to write it. Meaning, I it was a miracle because like I thought of it 2 weeks before Pesach and I wanted it out before Pesach because it's
Right.
the Pesach Havikomen song. So I thought of it on a Thursday and reached out to Mati Ilowitz that day. He had he told me he's super busy. He doesn't know if he'll be able to get to, but he was so into the concept
Right.
that he wrote the lyrics by Friday, the next day.
Wow.
And I had gotten Donnie involved by then, uh, and Eliana Talhan from Flash of Design. She did the video, and she's incredible. You guys should check her out. She does great work. And we we had the video up like a few days before Pesach. It was like it was incredible that it went so smooth.
Right.
It's funny, like the song, the tune of it has a little bit of a country vibe,
Right.
and I wanted that because that's a story type of genre. Like
Right.
like country music is usually telling a story, or it's a good way to tell a story with country vibe. But yeah, I sing it almost every gig.
Wow. What made you decide to do the video at like the beach or wherever it was
Yeah,
recorded?
we did it in Long Beach,
Wow.
and I wanted a chuppah by the water
Right. Okay.
to be the backdrop of the song. So it started out just me by the beach, but it ended with the chuppah, and I
Right.
felt like it would, there's something very like deep about the just the water, the heaven, the earth. Like it's very raw. Just
Right.
you know, just zoning on there's neshamas up in Shemayim that what's really sweet about Yisrael and Elisha is that we went to the same bungalow colony,
Wow.
and I'm pretty sure Yisrael knew that he wanted to marry her from a very young
Okay.
age. It was never inappropriate or whatever you call it. But, like, there was no like boys and girls in our circles
Right.
did not even talk, but
Okay.
from just from knowing her from the bungalow colony, and we knew the Kaplans.
Right.
Always loved them. They're such a fun, good, loving. Like every Kaplan always has a joke on their mind. They're ready to share a funny joke, something funny. Mosey Kaplan is hysterical. Cantor Joel Kaplan always has a good joke, and it was a tribute to that chassan and kala that up in
Right.
Shemaim, their shepping nachas of all the shidduchim that my father helped to organize through his website 10K Bat Yisrael.
Right.
The song was almost meant to promote the organization 10K Bat Yisrael, which is basically 10,000 shidduchim. 10K Bat Yisrael means my
Right.
father's asking Hashem, please send 10,000 shidduchim. It's funny. So I did a promotion for them recently, and
Right.
somebody like, "What's 10K? That you have to pay shadchanis $10,000." I'm like, no, 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 it's not about money. Uh, it's about trying to reach that number to be a little
Wow.
closer for them.
So, how did your father come up with this idea, like of 10K? No, I'm serious. How did he come up with this? First of all, the number, and second of all, the whole organization thing. How did he come up with what? What made him decide to come up with such an organization?
I think number one, Blian Hara, all my siblings are married except my youngest brother, who's just about to start shidduchim.
Okay.
But my sisters went through shidduchim, and my father knew what people are going through. Like, there's so many girls out there that are not even able to get the attention of shadchanim. It's
Wow.
like it's just a hard parsha for
Right.
so many people, and so many people are worried constantly about it. Is it going to happen? As like in our community, if a girl's already 21 years old, she's like, oh no, what's going to happen? 25, oh my God, you know.
Right.
So it's a very high stress topic for people who are in that parsha. And Blian Hara, my sister, had gotten married not too long before that, and it was still a thought in my father's head that, like, my father's always bothered about the concept of how shidduchim are done. You
Right.
know, the tznius aspect of like sending girls pictures out and judging based
Okay.
on that. So it was a big topic to my father, and when this happened, you're thinking like it's a couple who
Right.
died. Let it be a schus for shidduchim for people, and probably the number was just he wanted a sizable number that like
Right.
to be significant.
Do we know what number they're up to right now?
Yeah, if you check out 10K Bat Yisrael, they
Yeah.
actually just refreshed the site. They made my brother-in-law,
Okay.
because Epstein,
Yeah.
he has a business called Cornerstone Media. He does websites. He does an incredible job.
Okay.
So go check out 10K Bat Yisrael. It actually shows you how many shidduch suggestions have happened. It's somewhere like 20,000 shidduch suggestions have
Wow.
been logged on the site. How many dates? It gives you data. And I think the shidduchim is somewhere above 250 shidduchim are engaged
Wow.
since the accident.
Wow.
Not 10,000 yet, but we're going to get there. We need to draw attention to it. We need people to know about it so that more shidduchim. The idea of the site is more like,
Yeah.
don't rely
What's
on
the idea of
shidduchim.
the site?
The idea of the site is it's a platform for people to brainstorm and log their shidduchim. Like, if they think of an idea to start a new post, basically
Okay.
saying, "I have a boy and a girl going out," and as it succeeds, it promotes the idea for people to try to think shidduchim, not relying on shadchanim, but individuals.
Right.
Every once in a while, I hear more and more of these organizations, and I think, great, like people are all coming up with the same idea. Let's, as individuals, come up with ideas of shidduchim. So we hope it succeeds and more people have beautiful, happy marriages together.
Wow. So, wow. Beautiful. Um. So music is your full-time job. You,
Yeah.
you you don't do anything else. What happened that you left your 9 to 5 job at gaming at that place?
Yeah. Originally, I was working at this gaming business, and I got very good at Excel, which is
Okay.
like a spreadsheets program, and I was
Right.
using it to track tens of thousands of items on Amazon,
Okay.
and I was able to like restock based on that. I learned the like avoda of doing a business on Amazon really well.
Wow.
And while I was there, somebody else reached out to me
Okay.
about joining his business, a Judaica business. He had a huge inventory of stuff, and we made some arrangement that we would share in the profit of
Mhm.
the stuff that's on Amazon. And I started doing that with him. And at a certain point, I it was growing nicely, and I was doing well with it. And at that point, I left my other job, because this was a
Right.
better use of my time. And then at a certain stage, after I had done a ton of work and things started sort of almost going on autopilot, because like
Okay.
once everything's listed and search engine optimized, it's just more about just keeping the inventory steady, and it's a very easy
Right.
job. So at that point, it started bothering my partner that I was making money off easy work.
I hear.
And he started changing it up on me, meaning like I had done all the hard work already. He started changing it up and being dishonest about certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And for a while, I was bothered by it, and eventually, I was like, I don't need it. I don't want to have animosity. I don't want to have agmas nefesh from this. It's not
Right.
worth it to me. And I left it. I said, you keep it, whatever.
Wow.
And at that point, I opened up my Instagram account, and very quickly it took off, and I was
Wow.
able to be working almost every day, very, very soon after, doing Simchas and events.
So it's like almost like within a day or like a couple of months.
Probably a couple of months, but I had already been doing it as like
Right.
here
You've
and
been
there,
doing
like at night
stuff.
sometimes when I was while I was working at the other job.
Right.
But the Instagram really like moved things to much quicker. That within a few months I was doing it regularly.
Mm-hmm. Wow. That's and so you came out with this new song now. Another new album, Ellie, coming up,
I am I am
or
working on two projects that are meant it I don't like to call it an album because an album I feel like when I do an album I want it to be a full new song production. This is two different projects that are both like
okay,
focused on covers. The one of them has a few new songs that I wrote, and maybe I hope if I could even do the Lonnie song that she wrote, maybe it would be good
right.
to add that on. But I'm calling them collections.
Mm-hmm.
Two collections of songs that I want to be releasing hopefully, in the near future.
Okay. Um, top 5 songs of all time.
That's not Pasha. Um, I love Elikai Neshama from Dedi. Do you know
Okay.
Elikai Neshama? Elikai Neshama. I don't know if you remember, but like I love Dedi's vibe in general. He
Right.
has so many positive Geshmaka rocky songs, and I love Elikai Neshama, which is a slow, soft song from him.
Yeah.
Um, One of my favorite songs to sing is Hallelujah,
Okay.
also known as Boi Kala, if you want the Jewish version of it.
Okay.
Um, One song that I really love is Rebone from Berry. And Rebone was actually written by Yossi Muller, who was a classmate of mine in Yeshiva.
Oh
Do you know
wow.
Yossi Muller?
No.
Yossi Muller's 6'7".
Oh, maybe was he in camp, Yossi Muller?
I don't think he was in Camp Simcha. He was a Heller guy. He
Oh,
was
okay.
he was they called him Sky Muller. He was great at basketball.
Oh, really?
He's a nutritionist in Lakewood now,
Oh, wow.
and he's written some songs for Shweki, Barry, and some other awesome
Okay.
singers. Okay, so we do Barry,
Yeah.
Rebone. I always like to say Barry's. I like his voice the best.
Okay. We'll get to
Um,
that in a minute.
okay. Is that one on the chart? Um, what I love, Maishi Tischler's um, Filas. What's it called? Um,
Okay. Forgot what
um,
it's called, but I know.
Filas, maybe one of these chuppah songs.
Yeah.
I really, really like that song. And Yif
You had to bring it in. Of
Yeah,
course.
I don't know if anybody heard me say about this yet, but that's the song If They Know, and I hope I actually have two giveaways going on right now.
Oh, no, really?
$1,000 each. One of the giveaways is to just like the post and tag 3 friends. And
Okay.
the other giveaway is if you add the song to your playlist, either on Spotify or Apple or 24/6 or YouTube. Just add the song to your playlist and share
Mm,
the
the
reel
link. The reel?
the reel on your story to let other people know about it. And the drawing is going to be Matzah Shabbos for the first one and Sunday night for the second one.
Oh,
So you could
wow.
win $1,000. You to get in on it.
If I win, it's not gonna look good.
Hey, well, we don't get involved. If you win, you win. That's how it works.
Anyway,
We're,
top 5 singers of all time. Jewish and non-Jewish.
okay, so I said Barry is my favorite voice. I love Isha Rebo. I love
Right.
um, I'm trying to like figure out how to categorize.
You can go backwards also. Like back in time.
Right. Um, I like I love Mordechai David and Avram Fried, but I don't want to use up those spots. But okay, we're gonna go. I like the nostalgia.
You could do top 10. You could do top 10.
I love all of them, really. I've sung music from every single one of these amazing singers, and each voice contributes its own flavor, and I love it.
Right.
Thank God, thank God. I like nowadays. I like singing bringing back some ABs at my gigs to sing like Joe DiMaggio's Card and the Bums from the East Side. I
Did
actually
you
want to sing some Destiny. Like remember Destiny and Variations?
yeah. Did you get to sing on on AB Rottenberg's new album or no?
No, no. AB didn't call me. I
Hmm.
would have totally been up for it. But yeah, that was a good album.
Yeah.
What's your favorite song from that album?
It's a lot. It's a many songs. So I don't know. They're all good.
I love the Shulam Lemmer song from that. It's so touching. It's about the
The Baker.
remembering his life before the war. So sweet, so moving, and he does such a good job with the Eli
Yeah.
Schwebel did a good job with the Journey at Sea.
Right.
That's very cool. What's next, Yehuda?
What's next? You're awesome, Ali. I really love you. I
Oh,
love the music that you put out. I love just that you being you
thank you.
and your whole. I'm saying you're just amazing.
Yehuda, I say the same thing about you.
No, no,
You have
no.
such beautiful energy. You take life by the horns. You you decide you want to do something and you do it. Like
This wasn't my decision.
wasn't it?
This wasn't my decision.
Whose decision was it?
This was my nephew pulled me up. I didn't want to do it at first,
Yeah.
but
How did it happen? He called you up. He said you would be a good interviewer. You should do it.
he wanted to start a radio show, a radio station, and on it with radio shows. So he asked me if I want to do it. He said, I want you to do it. I said, no, no. He's like, I
Well,
want
that's
to call
even
it.
better.
He's like, I want to
You
call it the Blondini Show. I said, absolutely not. I am not doing the Blondini Show.
But do you see what a legend you are? Your nephew's like this. This is my ticket. This is my ticket to fame. The
Yeah,
Blondie
I'm not doing the Blondini Show. I told him,
stuff.
but
But
yeah,
I think you really do a good job in terms of like you came up with a good list of topics. I wanted to talk about one topic. It just happened today,
okay,
and I want to know your input.
okay,
Somebody messaged me on my website saying, "I remember you from yeshiva. I love your new song. It's fire." But I don't even know how to word it the way he worded it. But basically, he wasn't happy with the picture of me on the website that it didn't look from enough. Like I'm wearing an undershirt and Like you
Okay.
could see a little bit of my skin, and I, I have like feelings about it. I wouldn't normally. I don't care. Like I
Right.
wouldn't care to respond, but I felt like I wanted to respond to him
Yeah.
because just it's not tasteful.
Right.
I have a feeling that, like, we're all individuals. You're wearing a beautiful white shirt. I'm wearing a t-shirt.
I'm not. It's not white. It,
It's
it's
not.
it's actually pink.
Oh
I
wow,
think.
it looks
Yeah.
white in this video, but
No.
whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
What I wrote back to the guy.
Yeah.
I wanted your feedback on this. I wrote back.
Okay.
I don't think it even went through to him. For some reason, something happened with the email and didn't go through, and I don't care. But I just wanted to send this message to people.
Mhm.
I said to him, like, you, thank you so much, brother. You probably believe that you're doing this at its tzidkis, and you think you're doing something lofty and hailing. But I was saying, really, you have to be careful that what feels like a good thing to you might actually be damaging.
Right.
And somehow we each believe that exactly where we are in our faith is the perfect combination and
Correct.
arrangement. And anybody
100%.
that's more from is probably fanatic, and everybody who's less from is a low life.
Right.
And what you have to realize is that every single arrangement of people came out who they are. Now,
Right.
that doesn't mean that each of us don't need to improve. We all
Right.
do need to work on improve. But if you're
100%.
looking at a person and you're so moved by your drive to correct them that you're going to message a stranger almost to tell them
Right.
how to dress and how to live their life, that comes across as a judgy, unloving kind of place. It doesn't feel like I want to change because
Right.
you brought it to my attention that I'm not as from as you. You know? What
No,
do you think
I
of that?
I agree. I don't think anyone should judge anyone where they are in life because each person is whoever they turn out to be is what they're supposed to be, and don't judge anyone just by looking at a picture. Maybe if you know him or whatever, you speak to him, you can talk to him or whatever. Don't judge someone just by what you see on the outside. That's another thing about social media because you're judging someone on social media what how they're looking on social media, but you don't really know who they are outside social media.
Right. It's so true. Social media is a projection,
Correct.
and you don't know what the person's going through or what they've been through.
Yeah.
But right. But to me, I would like to say to a person
Right.
like that, find a way to be more loving and accepting. Yes, that doesn't mean you should think that their way of life is good for you.
Right.
You know, doesn't mean everybody can do anything they want and that should be fine.
Right.
But you have to wonder about yourself. If you're that type of person that you're reaching out to somebody that you don't really have a connection to and giving them musser,
Right.
it says something about your mindset. And it's not, I don't think it's a positive
It's probably a negative person, Ellie, that just wants to uh, 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 tell you, "Oh, you're not you're a firm person, but you're not firm because."
But I also started it with like that's how that you probably feel like you're doing a mitzvah because the person probably thought I'm not being negative, I'm being a tzaddik. The person probably was
But
feeling
maybe his tzaddik is I don't know, like he doesn't know what it really means to
right,
be a, to be a normal person. Who knows? It could be some I don't know.
right, right. Yeah, you never know. So I just wanted to add that just because it's something that like I see it happen a lot, not necessarily to me, but and
Right.
I might even think like weighing in on somebody. Somebody's doing something that feels like it's not cool, and I have, I'm sure, done stuff like that. But it's important to recognize sometimes when you feel like you're being a tzaddik, you have to question if it's actually positive what you're doing.
Right. One last question before I let you go. The most influential person that you ever spoke to or want to speak to in your life?
It's funny. I don't want to like limit say that this is the most because it's very extreme. To choose one person or a thing. But I just was messaging Yochi Brisman today,
Okay.
um, because we're doing an event together coming up. And years ago, my brother Shmuel David had cancer. My older
Oh,
brother.
wow. I didn't know that Shmuel David had cancer.
That's how we initially even got involved with Chai Lifeline.
Got it.
And Blian Har Baruch Hashem, he healed and he's
Right.
healthy and he has beautiful children and
He
everything.
lived in Muncie, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But while he had cancer, I remember that Yochi Briskman used to come to my house. He brought him a drum set and he
Okay.
taught him how to play drums because that's not something that Shmuel David really wanted to do.
Right.
And I reminded him today and he said, "Sure, I remember." And I said, "You don't realize what a chizik that was to all of us."
Right.
He just thought like somebody's asking me to come do this for a boy who's struggling with cancer, and maybe it was a schlep and whatever, and he decided to do it. But he doesn't realize that till today, I, a full-grown adult,
Right.
think of wow, that was such a change. It's such a memorable part of my life that he used to come to our house. We were excited because
Wow.
Big Yoki Briskman, who was doing concerts with Shweki and whatever, was coming to our house and teaching my brother. And many times when people reach out to me and ask me to do a chesed, to come to people's house or to sing for somebody who's sick or whatever, I think, who knows, maybe this is a chizuk to somebody that could last for years.
Wow.
It helps motivate me to do things till today. So you don't know, like something that you
Right.
do today could seem like insignificant to you, but it could
Right.
have big impact on the rest of somebody else's life.
Right. So whatever. Yochi
Yeah,
Briskman.
that's made a
Wow.
huge lasting relation,
Wow.
huge impact.
Your parents still live in Flatbush, right?
My parents live in Flatbush. We're the only ones. We're the last ones. Most of my siblings are in Muncie or
Wow.
Passaic.
And you're in Flatbush or you're in
I'm in
Farag?
Flatbush, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay.
Yehuda,
Anyway,
thank you so much for
thank you so
having me.
much for letting me interview you. I really had a great time, and keep up the great work.
Amen, amen. I love your vibe and energy and your love.
Thank you.
You're a true muscle of how to live and how to behave. Tzaddik,
Thanks.
thank you.
Thank
Send
you.
my best to your family.
I will.
I'll talk to you.
I'll talk to you.
Bye.